Okay, family. So my phone it cut off because I was on another app and I had to close it. Hey, go down there, cause you loud. So this is one of the things. Okay, that I wanted to come on here real quick and talk about. Go in there with it. Come on. This is one of the things that I wanted to come on here and talk about. So for your life to change, okay, you really have to start studying yourself. Now, we may have heard for your life to change, one of the things that we really have to start understanding is, and we have heard this saying so many times before, okay, but before we get into this, okay, honey, the stars are available, okay? You could send, honey, you could send $5, okay? I appreciate you guys. You can send 50 cents. It doesn't matter. All of it adds up, okay? And I'm grateful and thankful. But I just need to say the stars are available, honey. Start sending some stars because your girl likes stars, okay? All right. So, one of the things that I didn't understand, see, I used to really feel like, book smart was really it, right? And it's nothing wrong with you going to school. That's what you want to do. You do what works for you. But for a long time, I used to feel like, well, I got to know this subject. I got to be good at this, and if I'm good at this subject, my life is going to be whatever, right? What I really started grasping and getting, okay, from so many people that were millionaires and had little bit of schooling, one of the things that I had started understanding was, one, they got to know themselves, okay? See, we have been taught so erroneous, okay? Erroneous, yellows, wrong, okay? Because we've been thinking that, well, as long as I have a good education, then, I'm going to be successful. But it's people who do have a good education and some of them not successful. And I'm not saying that it's people that, that don't have a good education that they're successful. What I'm saying is this. We have to come to a point and understand that knowing thyself is more important than knowing any book, okay? Because once you start knowing yourself, then you can see why you do some of the things that you do. I remember when I had invested into Bob Proctor's program, and one of the things that he talked about was about studying, right? And I remember when I had invested, I said, "Ooh, if I could just learn one thing from Bob Proctor, just one thing." Okay, I didn't know too much about Bob Proctor. I seen him on a I had seen him on a YouTube ad, which was crazy. First of all, okay, I'm getting very excited. Okay, I'm getting very excited. Okay, let me tell you. Woo! Listen, we have heard this saying from the beginning of time, right? Yeek and ye shall find. Okay, knock and it shall open. Let me tell you something. See, you going about life thinking that I gotta have point A that's gonna get me to point B, and then I gotta know how to get to C, D. Honey. You like, before I take step one, I gotta know exactly how this thing gonna play out. Honey. No, 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 no. You don't need to know all that. Okay. What you need to start doing is getting started. Okay. And when I invested in that program, right, well, Bob Proctor, first of all, I was determined. And you guys hear me say this all the time. And the reason why I'm going to keep reiterating myself is because I want somebody to understand. I want somebody to get it, that you have the ability to change your life day and night. Okay? Day and night. Ooh. Okay? Day and night. Okay? You do not have to stay where you are, honey. I've been trying to tell you. You do not have to stay where you are. You can change at any given time. And so when I made that statement, okay, 1 second, family. 1 second. One second. When I made that statement that I deserve better, okay, did I know how I was going to get better? No. Did I know what steps I was going to take to get better? No. Did I know, by me doing something different, I was going to get different? I mean, I heard people say it from time and time again from the people that I was watching. Because, let me also give you this, Jew, honey. Never mind my hand, because the guy who owned this place, he had came and filled some holes, okay, and I definitely got some stuff on my hand. But listen to this. I hope you get what I'm saying. I hope you feeling this, okay? Because I'm going to share this over to YouTube. I hope you share. Listen to this. I want you to get this and understand me. I'm like my aunt who used to, keep saying the same thing. And she would say, listen to me and listen to me good. And then she would have you repeat what she said to make sure you understood what she said and you was paying attention to listening. But listen to what I'm saying, Linda. Listen to this. Now, I done forgot my goddamn train of thought. But listen, I didn't know what the people, who I was watching. And this is the phenomenal thing, because you may be like, oh, well, I don't know nobody that's close to me that I could, that could influence me to get better. Oh, you don't? Honey, YouTube University, okay? Because that's sure as hell where I went, okay? I didn't have nobody teaching me this stuff. Because the people who I was around, honey, we was in harmony with one another. Meaning that we was receiving the same exact things from life because of where we were. Listen, you don't get out of life what you say you want. You get out of life what you are in harmony with. Oh, then you better bring this goddamn speech today, because you bringing it, okay? Make sure you guys share this video, okay? Because somebody out there may be growing through some shit, and they may just need to hear that light bulb may need to just go off. And this is another thing, okay? Because all what I'm saying is already within you. Okay, everything is within you. I could never give you nothing. Okay, so don't think like, oh, she could give it. No, I could never give you anything. Okay, everything is already within you. That's what you have to understand. Okay, everything is in you already. You just got to get back to, to your true self. Okay, now we have two selves. Is the ego self, and then is our higher self, our true self, the love, right? The ego is the programming. Okay. So, getting back to what I was saying. So, I didn't know if the shit was going to work. Okay? I didn't know what, I was hearing on, different, watching different videos, listening to his audio, and hearing people constantly say, your life can change, Honey, if you listen to it enough, okay, it goes into the subconscious mind. And I done told you guys one time and time again. Okay, so the subconscious mind does not know fantasy from reality. The subconscious mind, it just accepts. Okay, once it get past the conscious mind, okay, the conscious mind is the part of you that can accept or reject it. Once you start watching stuff and you start getting emotionally involved with it, okay, repetition, keep looking at the same thing, keep on doing the same thing. How you think you learned? Okay, it was through the repetition. From the time you was in your mama's womb up into the age of 7, you are doing things from a habitual state. Okay, you are doing things from your subconscious mind. Half of the time, you don't even know why you doing what you doing. You just know you don't like the fucking results that you get. Okay, and it's because of the habits that you keep on constantly doing. So for me, I was like, all right, listen. I had 11,000 and something. Okay. That year I think it was like 2-3 settlements. Okay. And one settlement was for 11,000. That was like the last settlement. And I was like, and I always attract money, okay? And it's not doing anything like crazy. It's just, money always come to me. And it's not just like me saying like an affirmation, okay, which affirmations do work, and it's good if you do affirm who the fuck you are and affirm what you want to come into your life, as opposed to paying attention to what's not working in your life. That's why you keep getting what you get, because you focusing on what's not working in your life. You focusing on things that you don't want to constantly show up in your life. But if you give your energy to it, remember, energy grows where energy goes. So if you constantly saying, I don't want to meet a dude like this, or saying all men are dogs, but you on the opposite side, you like, well, I want to meet a guy that's, that is loyal and all this other stuff. There's no way you're going to meet that, because you are at a sync, right? And also you have static energy. Okay. And you're not even in alignment, because you have this strong feeling that all men are dogs, but then you have another contradiction feeling that, I want to meet a guy that's loyal. How that's going to work? That ain't going to work out too well for you, boo-boo, because your energy is static. Okay. So who want to join this live? Okay. Cause I feel like somebody who want to join this live, who want to come up, okay? Cause the energy, honey, the energy is just flowing, okay? The energy is like, ooh, girl, you better come with it, okay? All right. So getting back to it. First of all, what really did it for me today was I was watching this technique, or listening to this meditation technique by, Jose Silva. So if you guys don't know who Jose Silva was, the Silva technique, maybe you guys could look it up, and see what it was about. So I did a meditation, of that, going into alpha waves, theta state, like all that good yummy stuff. Okay. And it's so funny because a few years I didn't even know shit about meditation. Okay. So you telling me that you can't change, honey, that is a goddamn lie. You don't need to know everything in order for you to change. And I know nothing about nothing, okay? Because it's some stuff that I learned and the shit could be wrong too, okay? So it's about reprogramming yourself. It's about constantly learning new things. It's about, looking at the ideas and looking what you are getting from life and saying, wait, hold up. All right, I deserve better. And like I said in a video earlier today, just because you grew up in a hood, that does not mean, or just because you grew up poor, that does not mean that you don't deserve to be rich. Okay? Okay? You stop looking at your life and feeling like, because, we grew up on food stamps, we grew up on Section 8, No. That does not mean anything. Okay? Okay? You guys know I'm from the hood. I'm from the projects. Okay? That doesn't mean anything. But what mattered was I started looking at my life and saying, what really did it for me was I had heard so many times from me kept on, because I always was a person that seek knowledge. And I just kept hearing that the universe wasn't biased. Okay? And I said, the universe not biased. So why I'm getting these results I'm getting? And then it started making sense. You getting the results that you getting because of the programming. I remember I was listening to Dr. Bruce Lipton, who talks about epigenetics, who talks about your environment, right? How you are, by you being in a certain environment, that's what you become. Epigenetics. And I remember I was listening to Bruce Lipton, and he was saying like you could reprogram yourself. You can change yourself. And what happened was, what I started doing was I started studying every day. I'm no different than than the next person. Okay, honey, I ain't average, but I'm no different from the next person. What I tend to do is I look at my life. Oh, you want better? Oh, you want to be here? You want to go there? Okay, what can we do? And the answers don't come. Sometimes the answers, it take a minute. But what I tend to do is I keep on studying. See, I had it all wrong. Thinking I had to know all the states and all the capitals and all this and all of that, stuff that, you could look up on Google. But to know thyself is more important than to know any book. Okay, let me say it again. To know thyself is more important than any book. Because once you know thyself, you can change your entire life. You can change your entire life. And that was the only thing I just started implement. I started studying. Then, my mother would constantly say to me, well, how did you change? Okay, see, she didn't understand that I was sick and tired of getting the results I was getting. See, sometimes people think it's normal for you to be depressed all day. Or sometimes people don't even know what you feeling or what you growing through. Sometimes people don't even know. Okay. Sometimes people don't even know because you wear it so well. Okay. You've been living someone else's, dream, and it has turned into your goddamn nightmare. Okay. By doing what you think others want you to do. And you got to understand that you have the ability to change your life. You gotta understand it. I don't give a fuck what you facing. Please understand and get that. I don't care what you facing. You gotta understand that you have the ability to change your life. You gotta start understanding it and getting it. And what are you giving your energy to? Oh, and this was another thing Bruce Lipton said. He said 60%, 95% of the day, we are operating from our subconscious mind. Autopilot. Remember what I said? You getting results that you may not like, but it's because of the programming. And if you do not change the programming to put a different programming, then guess what? Your life is going to continuously be the same until you fucking release this avatar. Now, I don't know if that scares you or not. But for me, it scares me. Okay? Because knowing that you are a creator of your reality and you can change your reality to you just settling and feeling like a victim or feeling like, well, I'm going to wait until the government. I remember I used to hear so much, oh, well, they owe us 40 acres and a mule. And then I also heard Jim Rohn, who was Tony Robbins' mentor. One of the things Jim Rohn said was he had read somewhere that if all the money was divided up, right, in the world, if we all received the equal amount of money, he said all the money will go right back to the 1%, the wealthy people. Why? Because it's the mindset. It's the mindset. See, I used to shop and buy things thinking that I had to prove my worth. I would buy things thinking that I had to show people I was good enough, right? And it comes a point in time where as though, honey, you don't have to show shit. You know how you show you good enough, honey, when you wake up, cause you have the same exact time just like everybody else. But what's gonna make your time different is about how you spend your time. Cause you also gotta understand time is currency. Okay, that's why people say spending time, because time is a currency. How are you spending your time? What are you telling yourself? What is that belief that you have about yourself? And getting back to Bruce Lipton, so one of the things he said was 60% of people, okay, have this idea of, like, they think bad thoughts. But 60%, that's a fucking lot. 60%, that's a lot. And he said, and the interviewer, Lewis Howes, asked him, Ask Bruce Lipton. He said, why so high? Why so many? And one of the things Bruce Lipton said was because the people that's in power, they know that if you give a certain programming, that people will stay the same. That is fucking powerful. Okay? That is powerful. I need you to understand, you don't need to know just decide, because that's what I did. Well, I remember me and my oldest son, we would take rides, and if you don't know, that was like a form of therapy for me. It was very therapeutic, me just getting lost somewhere. Okay, I'm not the one that panic and be like, oh my goodness, I'm lost, where the fuck? No, I figure it out. Okay, so that was a very therapeutic thing. Like, when I would take drive out, far out, okay, and I would just play stuff like seeking knowledge, right? And I remember when I had heard B.O.B. the rapper, and I came across this, okay, about meditation and everything like that. Meditation, kundalini, chakras, alignment, like all these different things. And I didn't know if the shit was gonna work. You come to a point in life where it's like, you just like, you know what, I want better. I don't know what the fuck it's gonna cost or how I'm gonna get better, but I want better. And sometimes that better may look like you gotta move away from your family for a while. Okay? Because it's like it's gonna be a conflict. Because you learning, you changing the programming. And they stand the same. Okay? And it's not that we can't change or people don't want to change. Is that they so accustomed to the habits and so comfortable with the results that they're getting that let me tell you something, okay? It takes goddamn courage to decide to say, you know what, I'm gonna change this goddamn programming. Cause at times you may even be fighting against your damn self. It would be times where as though I'm talking to my children, right? I'm yelling at them, the programming kicking in, I'm yelling at them, and and then there's another part of me where as though it's like, why are you yelling? Like, why are you, right? And some may say, well, that's a defense mechanism and all this other stuff. But what I started understanding was, even in me parenting, if I want better, I have to do better. It was once upon a time I had heard Lisa Nichols and then another young lady from Instagram say that they asked their children, how do their children see them? Like, how could they be a better parent? And honey, when I heard them say that, I said, what? Because us, and I don't even just want to say us, because I believe, like, it's true. Once you get past culture, people are generally the same, okay? But I said, oh, I never heard nobody ask their children, how could I be a better parent? Because we have this mindset that I'm older, I know more, I'm in charge, okay, and I am doing, like, I am so much authority figure that I know, everything. And oftentimes is jealous, okay? Oftentimes what you are installing in your children, this shit is wrong. Like I told my oldest son, I said, listen, bro, okay, listen. That programming that you got to change it. Okay. Now, I'm aware I gave it to you. Okay, but you got to change it because it ain't working. Right? Now, whether he decide to change it or not, that would be him. Okay? Because when I was given the program, I was thinking that, oh, this is it. Right? Because you're like, oh, well, this is what I've been taught. And I had an ex of mine who once said to me, because I was like, I've been this way. And he said to me, he said, yeah, just because you've been that way, that doesn't mean it's right. Up until that point, I thought it was right. Okay? Up until that point, nobody couldn't tell me anything because I said, this is what it is. This is what's going to be. And then you wonder why you keep on going in circles like a dog chasing its tail because you not even receptive to new information. If you think your way is working, how are you going to be receptive to new information? You're not. Because you're going to be like, no, this is the way I've been doing it. Although it's giving you results that you don't like. Okay? But you like, this is the way we always did it. That doesn't mean it's right. That does not mean it's right. Okay? And also what you have to understand is how long are you going to keep on blaming the caregivers, your mother, your daddy, for raising you the way they have raised you? How long are you going to keep on blaming them? Back to, what's his name? Spike Lee, who used to say 40 acres and a mule, right? One of the things you have to understand is as long as you waiting for the government, your mama, your daddy, your family, whoever you feel may have betrayed you, as long as you waiting for them to change, honey, guess what? Your life gonna stay the goddamn same. Your life, honey, this is universal law. Your life is going to stay the same. As long as you saying it's because of what they did, your life is going to continuously stay the same. As long as you like, well, I'm going to wait until this happen. I'm going to wait until that happen. Okay, I was waiting. I said, damn, I'm going to get we going to get another stimmy. Okay, another stimulus check. As long as you waiting, okay, you putting your life on hold. As long as you like, well, I'm going to wait until, they apologize. Some people done died and gone. Okay? And you still saying you going to wait. What are you waiting for? When abundance is your birthright. What are you waiting for? How much longer you going to wait? I remember I used to watch Lifetime and I used to be like, wait, hold up. Because those beautiful houses. And predominantly just mainly white people in the houses. You don't see too many. I don't know what's going on with Lifetime now. Okay. But back then, predominantly white people. And I used to be like, damn, I can't, I ain't gonna, damn, I want one of those. But then the next day I go right back to work, do the same exact thing. Not being mindful or I wasn't in harmony with, believing that I can have something better. I was in scarcity and lack mindset. And so that's why I kept on doing the same thing. Going to work, working for somebody else. Not understanding that I'm a whole goddamn creator out here. That I create my reality. I ain't understanding. I didn't get there. And I kept doing the same thing. And hoping and looking and seeking for new results. For something different. And just crying, right? And and keep on saying, well, God ain't gonna put nothing on my plate I can't bear. Until I had to start realizing that I'm the one that's putting the shit on the plate. So you gotta decide. I'm not saying like you have to have everything figured out, but at least decide. My life gonna be better. Starting this point, I deserve better. And at first, you ain't gonna know, right? But I guarantee you, synchronicity is gonna start coming upon you. And when I say synchronicities, the universe is speaking to you. It may, just like I came across that video with Bob Proctor on YouTube. And it was like, I just seen this older white dude, who looked very wealthy, very successful. Okay. And I just heard him say, if you want better, honey, he was getting on a private jet. Okay, dressed up, honey. He looked like he had money. Okay. And I said, I had that 11,000 and something. I was like, you know what? Don't get it misconstrued. I was very afraid, okay, to invest. And you know what's so crazy? I was afraid to invest in myself. I was all for buying stuff, but when it came to myself, I was afraid to invest in myself. And I never forget. I just was like, if I could learn one thing from him. And that one thing was get to know thyself. That one thing was repetition is key. That one thing was persistence. See, you looking for motivation. You're like, oh, well, I'm motivated to do a video. You know when I come up with the greatest ideas at times when I'm growing through something? Because persistence is whatever it is that you may be passionate about, it's like you still do it. You still show up no matter what the fuck is going on in your life. You still show up. That's persistent. Motivation, that shit gonna wear off. And I used to ask this question. I used to say, how do I know I have faith? Because shit, I didn't know. I say, how do I know? And I never forget. One day I was in the shower. Was I in the shower or was I driving? But I remember I was listening to Earl Nightingale. And if you don't know who Earl Nightingale is, Google. Because if I tell you, you're going to, it's just me telling you. But if you look it up for yourself, maybe you'll start listening to some of the videos. Or watching some of the videos. And I remember I had heard Earl Nightingale say, he said, faith, the way to know that you have faith is through persistence. And it's so funny because a few months ago, I was saying, how do I know if I really have faith? And then I said, oh, okay. And I show up. You see, you looking at yourself like you that project kid. And I told you guys I'm from the projects. But you looking at yourself like you that project kid that deserve just welfare, that deserve to live in a poverty environment. You still looking at yourself like this. So what I'm going to need you to do is I'm going to start needing you to look at stuff that is going to change that stinking thinking and change your damn mindset. And the only thing I do is study. Whether it's reading books, okay, but I study. Meditate. I meditate, study, listening to stuff, reading books. Because I know I am able to change my goddamn life. It's in the making. I'm doing it each and every day. I know I have the ability to change my life. And I ain't got to wait for no one. Okay? I ain't got to wait for anybody for me to change my life. I could change my life. Because I decided to change my life. Now, it doesn't mean that you will be a millionaire overnight. But what it does mean is the more you keep on studying, the more you keep on persisting, and the more the repetition keep going, before you know, when you look up, honey, your life is going to be different. It's going to change by day and night. You're going to look back and you're going to say, damn, you may even have to pinch yourself or have somebody that likes you to pinch you. Okay. Because it's going to be so different. And what really got me was seeing people that wasn't that bright in school. Okay? What really got me is seeing people that grew up in poverty. See, I used to be like, oh, well, all white people are successful or wealthy. That's not true. And sometimes I would listen to, a white person. I say, how would they know? What it's like, or going through, or whatever it is like that. And then what I really, really started understanding was the seeds that you plant, you reap the harvest. I never forget this white older guy. Actually, it was two. It was one guy named Bruce, and I don't remember the other guy. But I remember Bruce when I was doing Uber. And I had picked him up from this luxury complex. And when he was going to the airport, and when he was about to, get in my car, he was putting like his luggage in the trunk. And he was like, "Oh, so you have 4 kids." Like, he was like just telling me, about everything. And honey, at first I was kind of creeped out because I was like, "What the fuck?" I forgot that I done put my damn information on YouTube, about me, right? And I remember I was, taking him to Newark Airport, and I was like nervous, right? Because I don't know. At times I would get nervous when like when I would get around white people, and maybe it's the programming, right? Maybe it's all the stuff that I know it was the program, all the stuff that I would be listening from Nation of Islam, and then you watching those slavery movies. You don't think that that's designed by you don't think that's by accident, right? Those movies that you constantly be watching and stuff like that, it's going in the subconscious mind. And so I remember me and Bruce was talking, and he kept telling me he was from the Bronx, and I didn't know what was the significance of it, right? And he was telling me his background, whatever it was. He traveled, like his life is so different compared to the way he grew up, and I didn't, I'm always real when it comes to when I would do Uber and people get in my car. I want them to feel like that they are relatable, but also, like, in a sense, give them hope. And hope may seem like cheesy, right? But I wanted to create that environment where, as though, honey, you could be yourself up in here, right? And as I was driving to the airport, I remember I was telling Bruce, I was like, yeah, because I'm from the projects, and lately I've been to personal development, changing my mindset. And one of the things he said to me, and he was like, Dina, where you think I'm from? I'm from the projects too, right? And he was telling me that I think he had went to war or something like that. But me and him was talking. I never forget. He had said to me, he said, if you ever in my area, you could come to me and my wife's house, and like basically like he could teach me, whatever. Because he was at that time he was talking about like stocks, and I forgot, it was this company he was talking about portfolios. He was talking all about that, and I was afraid. I was afraid to even go to his house because I said, shit. Now I was, and I constantly asked the universe, like, universe, send me somebody in person that could be my mentor. Somebody in person. Okay, because I think it's a better experience when you have the person in person as opposed to the internet. Yeah, the internet is good because that's how I changed my mindset. But in person, I think is, and here I was asking the universe that, and here I meet this guy. He's like, oh, if you're ever in the area, you could come to my house and, I could teach you whatever. And you know what the first thing that came to my mind? Fear. Fear came to my mind, and also the movie Get Out. So when I tell you about programming, the programming is real. It's all according to what you putting into your subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind does not know fantasy from reality. You get emotionally involved, that is what will be. The only thing that can accept or reject is the conscious mind. And your conscious mind is your creativity mind. So when I tell you, all right, get in the mirror, start affirming yourself. In the beginning, you may feel uncomfortable telling yourself like, oh, I am healthy, I am love, I am peace, I am success, I am confident, I am joy, I am bliss, I am deserving, I am wealthy, okay? I am successful, I am confident. You see, like every time I start saying my affirmations, honey, it's like a little sass, like, okay? And at first you ain't gonna believe it. Why? Because you are going against the belief system. I felt very uncomfortable when Bob Proctor said, get in the mirror and start telling yourself the person that you want to become. It was days I dreaded that. And it all was because of the programming. That's what it was. It was because of the programming. I dreaded getting in the mirror telling myself those things. And then it came a point in time, honey, I look forward to doing it. So if you want better, say if you want better, you feel you deserve better. I say you deserve better. Honey, you can have better. Don't go trying to figure out all the steps. Because soon as you go to that step, soon as you start at step 1, I deserve better. From this point on, from this point on, I declare my income is going up. Now you ain't gonna know what it is, but is what you have told yourself. My income is going up from this point on. You ain't gonna know what steps to take. But that's when faith comes in. Before you know it, people may start wanting to book you. Okay? People may start saying, oh, you know what? I'm having this event. Could you come speak? Let me tell you something. It's like magic. The shit works. I have a friend who comes to me, calls me, and tells me about the guys that she dating. And I had said this in previous videos. And I tell her the same exact thing. And sometimes she says she don't believe me, but that's okay. Okay? Because I don't need somebody to believe me in order for them to see that they are the ones that's creating a reality. Okay? It's proof. You see it. It's living proof. You can see it. Okay? And I told her several times, listen, you got to get over the fact that your father didn't treat you a certain way. You got to get over that. Because if not, you are going after guys that are familiar to you, like your daddy. And so she goes on and she says, well, these guys not like my father, they not abusive. And I said, yeah, maybe they not abusive in that form. But abuse could be psychological abuse. Okay? It could be, abuse is not just one thing. And I told her, I said, when you become better, that's when you're going to get better. And so many times, in the words of Dr. Wayne Dyer, one of the things he said, so many times people are going to the doctor and wanting a doctor to fill a prescription for their mother-in-law or for their father or their mother or whomever, without really looking at themselves in the mirror. You want to change your life? Look at yourself in the mirror. Look at yourself in the mirror. The person that can change your life is the person that look back at your ass in that damn mirror. That's the person who can change your life. No one outside of you can change your life. You have to do it. And once you start feeling like, you know what? And it's scary, okay? Because, you know, it's the belief systems. It's scary, but it's worth it. But it's worth it. It's worth it. You keep seeing yourself as a broken little girl, guess what? You gonna attract people that's gonna show you that you're a broken little girl. People are reflectors. You don't get that. When people show you something, you know, a part of you is they reflecting back to you who you are, or what you accept and what you tolerate. Cause if you knew better, right, then you would do better. But it's a part of you that like your higher self knows better, but you keep on allowing the belief systems to get the best of you. If you tell yourself, I remember I used to have this self-image of me that I wasn't smart. And I'm like, it's like a part of you know you smart, but it's like the evidence is just not, you know. I told you guys when I was 12 years old, okay, I dropped out of school, okay, and I went to it was a Catholic school, it was a Catholic school, and later on, was arrested for selling drugs. And then later on, I went to this all-girls home. And from the all-girls home, well, before I went to the all-girls home, my father passed away while I was in the youth house. I was devastated. I was so devastated because my father was like my best friend. Like it was, you know, a lot of things, some things he did that, you know, that made me question some shit, but to me, my father was my best friend. And when he passed away while I was in the youth house, I was devastated. And then the state took over, and then they placed me into this all-girls home. And after that, I went to school in this all-girls home, and then my brother and sister mother had got custody of me. My brother and sister from my father's side got custody. They mother and they stepfather got custody of me. And I started going to high school, okay? And all them years, right, you know, that I didn't go to school and then went to school, you know, in this program to now going to high school and then being placed in special ed. And I never forget, it was this dude who was like, I guess he was like book smart, like, and very egotistical. And I remember one day, we was sitting on the bleachers, right, in a high school, and it was this dude that I really liked. And the dude who was like very egotistical, one of the things he started asking me was, and I guess he did it as like trying to be smart, but also he kind of liked me, and I guess he didn't know about how to go about it. And he started asking me about like the states and what was the capital and all this other stuff for the states and all this other stuff. And I wasn't fucking interested in it, and so I didn't know it. You know, right? I didn't know it. And I never forgot how he humiliated me and embarrassed me. I was so fucking embarrassed. And you know what I did? When I went home, I started looking up the states and the capitals and all this other stuff. Right? To like say, well, if somebody else come and ask me something like this, like, I'm gonna be prepared. When that stuff didn't matter. Me knowing who the fuck I am and why I do some of the things that I do is more important. So I had to start getting rid of this this self-image of me not being smart. And so what I did, I started getting in the mirror and I started telling myself, I am smart, I am smart, I am smart, I am smart. I started reading more. I started looking at myself like, you don't have to be smart by somebody else's definition, but smart by your own definition, and to understand that you are a creator. And your creation, it does not have to look like the next person's. So I had to start reprogramming, right? And you know, you gotta start getting that you deserve more. Like I've been saying this ever since I've been doing these videos. You gotta get you deserve more. I don't care what it was like for you growing up, you know? And I'm not saying that to like be, you know, like the desensitized. I'm saying it because whatever it is that you grew up or how you grew up, all of those things are, what if is you had to go through that, grow through that, so you could pull somebody else up that's growing through it. Okay? Soon I'll be very, very wealthy. Okay. And one of the things that I think about is, you know, going back to or speaking to the people that grew up in the hood and maybe they don't know how to get out, but they really want better. And you know how you know if the person want better? Because you gonna pay for what you want. Okay, you gonna pay. Some people are like, well, you shouldn't be charging. Hey, you gonna charge because one, time isn't time. Time, you can't get that shit back. And then two, how's your self images? Because you gotta understand, the more money you have, the more you can do. That goes without saying. Okay. So getting back to it, you are deserving. Okay. You can change your life, but you have to really want it. You really, really have to want it. You have to decide you want better. If not, you just going to keep on going in circles doing the same thing. Thinking your way is working when your way, in fact, is not working. And so with that being said, I hope you guys got something from this. Make sure you guys like and share this video. Okay? Like and share this video. You know, if you got something from this video, don't just be like, well, I'ma just, you know, I ain't gonna, no, share the video, because you don't know who may be growing through something right now. Okay? And also you can send some stars. All right? With that being said, I love you guys. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.